Good morning. This is America's teacher, Casey Noland, continuing on with my walkthrough of the Declaration of Independence. As for July 2019. Okay, I'm starting today on the he has it. So I've gone through in, I think, 6 previous videos, paragraphs 1 and 2. 2 is very difficult to get through. You may be thinking, well, this is ridiculous. Well, if we don't crawl and walk through this, it's my contention that this is how we learn what the founders were thinking, and we don't just get other people's modern opinions, which there's nothing wrong with that, but that's just their opinion. And do we really know? I trust the Declaration more because it shows me what they were thinking. So here we go. He has refused. Okay, so they go, the facts of a critical world, or our candid world, or are here for all to see is basically what they're saying. So what are the facts? Well, the facts are the King of England, he has. So who's he? King of England has refused his assent to the laws the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. Okay, what they're saying here, I think, is we pass a lot of basic rules and laws for governing our communities, and he goes around them and doesn't honor them, allows his troops, allows his governors, allows military people, people in England, business people from England to just go around our rules, not respecting our rules. Stop and stoplight. They didn't have stoplights, but you know what I mean. Okay, number 2. He has, these are numbered, by the way, in the Declaration. This is just the second one. He has forbidden the governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance, unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained, and when so suspended, he is utterly neglected to attend to them. So, in a lot of the colonies, there was a governor, excuse me, appointed by the king that was loyal to the crown, that was like the administrator of the colonies. So the colonies were allowed to have their own legislature and they made their rules, but they had a governor to kind of oversee it and oversee the military that was there. So they'd have British troops among them, right? So he has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate pressing importance. So something comes up. We need water. We need latrines. We need roads. They pass a rule, and he gets his governors just to do nothing or block, or orders them not to be helpful if they were so inclined to be. Pressing importance, things that they needed immediately, things to do with shipping, dealing with foreign countries, because other countries would, for instance, ship cargo into the colonies. Well, what were the taxes? So we need an answer. We need it now. How much do we tax, for instance? Unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained. It's almost like he's saying they're not going to be enforced as long as one of his governors is not present. And when so suspended, he is utterly neglected to attend to them. We keep asking him to make a ruling on something, and he just ignores us. So today it might be like, the money's there to fix the potholes. The county asks the governor of the state legislature to send the money, and they get no answer. And you and I keep doing $700 or $800 worth of damage to our car on average every year, and no one acts. Number 3. These are not numbered once again. I'm just reading the third one. He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people unless those people would relinquish the right of representation. I'll tell you what. I'll let you guys come up with some rules, and I'll have my governors enforce them if you'll agree to disband your legislature. What's a legislature? Legislate means law making. So disband your lawmaking branch. We don't need them anymore. I just have a governor. He'll answer to me. I'll tell him what I want. And I'll use my soldiers to enforce it. In other words, he was just generally being cantankerous about allowing them to govern themselves. And that's what the English lords, that's what the Magna Carta and the English Bill of Rights, if you'll go to my videos on that, what I'm going to produce next, probably in August, and once I'm done with the Declaration, and kind of go back and see what the English lords had fought for, or what rights they had obtained by pressing the king over a few hundred years. Kings, so the succession of kings. He has refused to pass other laws for the country unless the people would relinquish the right of representation. So he didn't want him to have a legislature. He wanted to disband all the legislatures probably because they were a thorn in his side. A right estimable to them and formidable to tyrants only. A right inestimable, meaning that it was a very important right to the colonists. And only a problem if you're a tyrant. So what's a tyrant? A despot, a king, a sole ruler, a dictator who doesn't like to be bothered by a fair process of making decisions because he wants to do what he wants to do and not be held accountable. Fourthly, should I do one more? He called together legislative bodies in unusual places. Okay, I'll give you a legislature, but if you people are living in Denver, your legislature meets in Seattle. Does that make sense? So let's put it in form of the colonies. You guys in Virginia? Okay, you got to ride your carriages or whatever up to Boston, and your legislature can meet there. Now, that sounds crazy to us. We take for granted the idea California has theirs in Sacramento. Nevada has theirs in Carson City, Colorado, etc., Nebraska, etc., right? They have their own capitals. They meet there to make laws. We take that for granted, but he did things to make those legislative. Remember, lawmaking. What does the legislature do? We send representatives who make our laws. So the voters pick the representative. That's why all this obsession with us about voters and, the voters were treated and everything. No. The voters picked a representative. It's like all this, people are all upset about this young representative from New York, AOC. Well, she was picked by the people there, so if you want to be mad at somebody or blame somebody, blame them. They sent her. So she won, so they sent the representative back. It's the representative's job now to make the laws. At places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant. I kind of covered that, right? Places that were way out of the way, difficult to get to, expensive, so forth. From the depository of the public records. So, wait a minute. Our records are kept here, but you're making us meet there. You're making us meet in New York City, but our records are right down the street here in a place that's convenient, especially for those small states. For the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance. Okay, I don't want to ride my carriage all the way to Boston. I'll just go along with what the king says. And that goes in paragraph 2. Remember that a long train of abuses, that citizens are more apt to put up with it than to alter, abolish it, and be their duty to change it. Okay, thank you. This is Casey Noland, America's Teacher. For July, I'm actually recording this on the 15th, but video 6 was the 15th too. I don't know, I got ambitious today. My website is mkcnolan.com. You can go there and make comments. I wish you would. It would really help. Or email Americas, C-A-S, Americas, no apostrophe, teacher at. It would be an apostrophe, but I didn't do it in a email for obvious reasons. America's Teacher at mkcnolan.com. Okay, thank you very much. Have a great day. Talk to you next time. We'll keep going through these he has's. What did he do that made them feel like, hey, it's time we got to form our own country? Okay, thank you. Over and out.